Hello and welcome back to the 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗗 channel. For those that don't know me, I'm Chris Shaw and I'm the director of 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗗. We also own a bespoke joinery company, we are property developers, we run a grab and aggregates company, and we're into far too much. We tell the story behind the build of our companies. One of the biggest requests we keep getting is people asking us what kind of plant and equipment we're running across our companies. So I thought I'd use today's video to show you what we've got. So the thing I want to stress is I am not an expert when it comes to plant. I know my way around building work, I know my way around property development, and I kind of know my way around business. I've done okay. However, I love plant and machinery, and my mission is to own every single machine there is on the market. Now that probably will never happen, but I'm going to give it a good go. So what I'm going to do today is talk about some, not all, of the kit we've got and running in our business. I'll talk about how much we paid for it, how we financed it, and how it fits into our arsenal of equipment. So, all those purists out there, don't call me out if I get something wrong. I'm just going to pass on the knowledge that I know, and I'm going to explain why we added this bit of kit to the business. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think we should be adding other kinds of kit and how best to add those kit, because everybody's got their own way of doing things. So, let's take a look. So the first thing that's worth mentioning is there's something very strange happening in Manchester. There's a weird thing in the skies and it's blue, something we're not used to. So it's actually a good day to make this video. So we're going to quickly get it done and dusted and in the can before it starts raining. First machine I want to talk about is this. This is our 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗗𝗧 𝗕𝗨𝗟, so 5-ton machine. We bought this about 12 months ago and we paid £39,500 plus VAT for it, and we financed this machine. Now, to be honest with you, looking back, I probably made the wrong choice. We set up this aggregates yard and we needed a bigger machine to move stuff about, but probably we should have bought something bigger. However, this is a lovely machine, and the operators that use it tell me it's so easy to use. The cab is lovely. I think it's got heated seats. I think it's got radio, air conditioning, all sorts, which I guess if you sat in one all day is quite important. This machine has, yeah, it's hard because it's too big to move to site without arranging transport, so we can't use it on our builds. But again, it's been quite handy in the yard. When we bought it, it had just over 700 hours, and I don't think we'll smash the hours onto it, and maybe we'll keep it for a year or so and let the finance balance out a little bit, and we'll maybe move it on. But yeah, it's a lovely machine. It's probably the newest machine I own. It's a 2021 model. I haven't bought a brand new digger or machine yet. I always buy brand new vans, but I haven't bought a new machine yet. But yeah, I really like this machine. It's probably like it's the most I've spent on one, and the guys love it. So we use this more for moving stuff around, for loading our crusher and smaller items. But yeah, I did my research and I believe this is a good machine. So let me know in the comments. Like I say, I'm not an expert, and I know there's people out there that really know plant. Let me know if you think this is a good machine. Let me know if you're running anything similar. So the next piece of kit, which I think I'll show you, is our soil screener. This is the mini screen E21C, made by Spitfire Engineering. They're a great company based, I think, in the Midlands, and they're actually working on another piece of kit for us at the moment, which I'll talk about later. But this is our soil screener. So the idea is we bring sort of mixed hardcore soil, poor quality soil back from our jobs and from our grabs, and we'll screen it in our yard and then reuse it on our jobs or sell it out to local companies at a fair price. It's a great bit of kit. We paid £14,350 plus VAT for this, but it runs on 3-phase. We haven't got a 3-phase supply in this yard, so we had to buy this Jenny for another £1,900 plus VAT. However, I'd say it's paid for itself already, this, because we screened that much through it. It's a great bit of kit, and the guys absolutely love using it. But the problem is, you can really only screen soil when it's dry. Like today, this miracle that's happening in Manchester isn't that common. So what we found is we've not really been able to pump as much through it as we want to. So we're sat on a bit of soil at the moment, but now it's drying out, we're going to make hay or soil as the sun shines. But yeah, this is another nice little addition to our kit. I just love buying plant. Honestly, I'd buy everything if I could afford it. and my mission is to build the businesses up so we can afford it, because I don't like not having things. I think I'm a bit like an only child in that respect, but I'm not. I'm one of 5 brothers. But yeah, this is our soil screener. So this is our 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧 2003. Essentially, it's just under a 3-ton machine, and I bought this for jobs where our micro excavator, which I'll show you later because it's out on site at the moment, which wasn't quite big enough to do the job. So there's slightly bigger digs for the extensions that we build, the driveways that we sometimes do. I absolutely love this machine. I bought this used for £10,000 and we bought it outright. What we've had done, we've had a few modifications done. We've had this hydraulic thumb fitted as well, which is great. So the idea is the guys can use that with the bucket to pick up stuff, and that cost about £700 to have fitted, but that's a great addition. If you've got a machine like this, I'd recommend getting one of them fitted because it makes the machine even more versatile. Again, this doesn't really work. It's in the yard at the moment, but it doesn't really get used in the yard. This is normally out on site or on hire. It's a lovely machine. I bought this from a guy that I know, another local builder who I know has really looked after it. And this is the second machine I bought from him, and I'm actually going to buy another machine. I don't mind buying used if I know what the history of the machine is. And also, we've now got our own fitter mechanic, Dale, as a few of you guys might know. So we're able to then really maintain the machine, and we've recently just had the one of the rams refurbished. And you do, you know, when you own plant, you have to be prepared to spend quite a bit of money looking after them, particularly if they go out on hire, because when your stuff goes out on hire, it doesn't get looked after like you'd look after your own machine, because people don't care. A lot of people in the hire industry know that. Let me know if you've got a sort of 3-ton machine, what you're running. Let me know if you like this machine. Let me know what machines you recommend, because I say I'm looking all the time to add stuff to our fleet. But yeah, I love this machine. Even though it's second hand, I love all our machines, because every time I've added a machine to the fleet, I feel like it's an achievement. So yeah, let me know what you think. So this bad boy, a few of you might recognise, is the rubber crusher RC150T. We paid £75,000 plus VAT for this, and we financed it over 5 years. And the idea is, we could have laid out and just paid it outright, but what's the point in ruining all that cash flow when actually we can pay this down over the 5 years, but it can earn its money, it can earn the payment and also make us some profit. We got into crushing about 2 years ago, and we bought the 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧 mini crusher, which we'll show you in a minute, which is a great piece of kit. But we realised the amount of volume we wanted to put through it when we bought the grabs, and we really started bringing volume back to the yard, it just wasn't big enough to process what we want. This here, you can put about 20 tons an hour throughput, as that's called, through it, depending what material it is and depending how it's loaded. But it really does churn out the product for us, which we can then reuse on our jobs or sell on. So yeah, it was a big purchase, this, and I wouldn't say it kept me up at night, because I love buying kit, as I've said. However, it definitely made the hair stand up on my hand a little bit when I thought how much when I signed the docs on the loan. But it's a great bit of kit, and again, I'd say it's definitely earned its money. We actually hire this out, and mostly to Dave from D&J Projects. We've got a deal where he'll have it for 2 weeks of the month, which essentially is paying for the finance, and then when we get it, we'll stockpile our stuff, and when we get it, we can earn our money from it. But yeah, it's a mega bit of kit, and it's probably, I did my research, it's probably the biggest crusher on the market before you start going into the really big ones, like the stuff you see on Baswell, the Fabbers channel, the McCuskey J40s, J45s, the bigger crushers, but they are crazy money, and I'll probably get one at one point. I'm looking at them already, and if I wanted to, we could probably get one quite quick, but we're just not doing the volume, we're not set up for it yet. So for now, this is perfect. So this beast is our latest purchase. This is a Doosan DX140, a 14-ton machine. Now, it's an old girl. It's done about 10,000 hours. However, again, I know the person who was selling this, so I felt very comfortable buying it from him. We also sent our fitter, Dale, to give it the once over, and he was really happy with it. Cosmetically, it needs quite a bit of work, but we just felt we needed a machine quick in the yard to start moving the bigger volumes. This comes with a 1 ton bucket. We've bought a riddle bucket that's for riddling soil and aggregates through with it as well, and it's gone into action straight away. And again, the guys in the yard are saying it's a really nice machine to use. What we are going to do, I think, is spray it black. Now, I know a few people have mentioned spraying machines black, it's not great on site, but this is staying in our yard. There's no real health and safety issue. This will not move from our yard. To be honest, I don't know how I'd move it. We had to get a transport company to bring it here. We paid £14,000 outright for the machine. Now, I looked about and it's crazy. These machines seem to be all over. There's loads of people using them. They're a very popular and I think quite a well thought of machine. But for us, it was available. I knew the person selling it and I could get it quite quickly. So I wasn't that worried about spending that money. I probably could have got one a little bit cheaper with maybe less hours, but as I've said, we needed it fast and I knew the history of it. So yeah, we're gonna do a bit of cosmetic stuff. It needs a new windscreen. There's a few things with the bushes and pins we're gonna do, but at the moment, it's working, it's paying for itself already, and I'm really happy with it. I just wasn't ready to spend the amount of money you need to spend to buy a newer version of this machine. However, I will. When this yard that we're setting up starts turning a profit, a good profit, we'll invest. But yeah, happy with this machine. So as you might know, we offer grab trucks and muck away services. And this is our Mercedes 8x4 grab truck. I've wanted a grab truck for years and years and years. And we went out and we bought a smaller grab truck, which we'll show you shortly, but this I quickly worked out to make the numbers work in the grab game is what you need to get the volume away and with tipping costs, etc. We paid £39,000 plus VAT for this. It's a 2015 plate, so it's not new. However, it had quite low miles or kilometres as they are in the truck game, and we checked it out and it was in really good condition. We financed it over 5 years, so again we can offset the payment, not chew up a load of cash flow, and it'll eventually earn its keep. To be honest, it already is. However, we worked out really quickly when getting into HGVs, there's a lot you need to think about and a lot of money that needs to be spent. This needs to go and have what's called a PMI, so almost like a mini MOT every 6 weeks, and always, pretty much always, they find faults and we have to put them right. We also service it really regular because it's obviously a hard wearing machine. It's taking a lot of hammer. Our plan is to own a fleet of these, but at the moment we're just learning the game. I'd say we're just about making profit, but we're not really breaking any records. But to be honest, I absolutely love it. I also love the fact that we can use this to look after ourselves. We don't have to rely on external grab companies. To be honest with you, we were never let down as such, but the grab there now is there when we need it. And I've mentioned quite a bit, for those of you guys follow our story and follow our episodes, you know, I'm telling you warts and all what it's like trying to grow this side of the business. It's not easy. However, we're getting there and we're making small improvements every day. What I like about this one, when we got it, it come from a company, a civils company that a lot of people know look after their trucks. It was green. So what we've done is we've sprayed the body ourselves and we've had the cab wrapped. It's also got scales, a weigher, so we know what volume goes on the back of it for when we're collecting, so we know we're never overweight, and also when we're selling out aggregates, we know what we're putting on. I love it, and like I say, we're going to go all out and own as many as we can, but we're going to do it organically. We're going to learn the game and then we're going to slowly build the business up. But yeah, come back in 10 years time and hopefully we'll own a fleet of these. We also own a fleet of about 35 vans, and this medium-sized van is the one that we tend to buy the most. This is a Vauxhall Vivaro, and we've got 6 of these in the fleet. Why I like them, they're good on fuel, parts are quite easily available. There was actually one of the only vans you could get in black. All our fleet are black, and believe it or not, after COVID it was really hard to get hold of a reasonably priced mid-sized black van, so I went on a bit of a buying spree. But yeah, this is our new livery as well. What do you reckon? Most of our older vans have just got a simple stripe down, so I'm playing about with this now. But yeah, I was obsessed with buying black vehicles. I still am, to be honest, but now I've switched to buying plant. So I think it probably says a bit about my personality. I've got a bit of an obsessive personality. But yeah, I tend to go for these because they're not tiny, not really small, but they're big enough. You can get an 8x4 sheet just about in these. And they're just really good on fuel and basically quite reliable. So yeah, we've got a few of these. So this is another Vauxhall Vivara that we've got, and this is our old livery. It might still be our current livery, but I'm just playing about with it. I think having your vans signed up is so important. I used to think it was a bit old-fashioned. I come from sort of the newer generation of marketing where you'd spend money on Google and social media, and people used to say to me, oh, make sure you get your van signed. I didn't really bother. However, I've realised how important it is to have your van signed up. This costs probably, what, 300 quid to get it signed, and the amount of work and inquiries we get from signing our vans up. So I've just seen your van, etc. What it also does is it instills trust and credibility in your brand. If you're trying to build a brand up, you need to be multifaceted. Yes, have good social media. Yes, have a nice website. However, when people see your vans, which they'll probably see most of out and about, it'll connect all the dots, and we get sent pictures and I get messages all the time going, oh, just seen one of your vans here, or seen one of your vans there, see you guys everywhere, and I get an absolute kick out of it. I love it. But yeah, this one has just come back from a guy that's not with us now, and oh, this is the stuff I hate about running fleet. This was never reported to us, this bump, and it's been battered. That there now, yeah, it's not stopping it going back out, but what kind of image does that portray to our potential customers and our existing customers that we let our battered vans, or let our vans get battered? So now I'm going to have to pay to get that fixed, and that's something that I didn't expect when I built a fleet. I haven't got a fleet manager or anything like that. I kind of look after it myself, and now I've taken on a mechanic and a fitter, and the office helped me, but it's actually the running of the fleet is a job in itself, and things like this just slip through the net, and all it'll do is just make us look less professional, in my opinion, and the resale value will go down. So I'm gonna have to get that fixed. So in the fleet we've got about 3 of these Citroen relays, 4 actually, yeah, because we've got another one in Liverpool. These are bigger vans with a mid-top or a high-top roof, and I buy these mostly for the joiners because they carry so much tools and equipment. I mean, you tell me which trade carries the most amount of kit. I think it's joiners, and they also need to carry boards and timbers, as you know. So yeah, I've got quite a few of these, and they're very expensive to run, and they're expensive to insure, and they get targeted quite a bit by the fees because people think there's loads of tools inside them. But I probably won't buy too many more of these now. We can manage more with the small and mid-sized van, but yeah, we're running 4 of these in the fleet, mostly Citroen relays, although we might have an Iveco. Oh no, we've got rid of that. Yeah, so Citroen relays, but yeah, good vans, and we look after all our vans. We service them every 6 months. We've got a fitter, as I keep mentioning, that's been a great addition, and the key to it is to make the driver feel like it's their van, and then they'll tend to look after it like it's their van. Doesn't always happen, but this driver here, Terry, Uncle Terry, my uncle, has had this now since new. So it's 2008, so nearly 6 years. This is probably one of the oldest vans we've got in the fleet, but we've paid for it now. It's not worth selling it because we'd get all right money for it, but to replace it, it costs us loads more, and we've maintained it that well, and we don't tend to do really high miles, that it's just worth keeping. So we also own 2 transit tippers, and they are very, very versatile. This one is a crew cab one. I bought this because there was jobs where we had a team of landscapers and a couple of them couldn't drive, and it just made sense, rather than sending 4 vans to one site, the guys could meet back at the yard or at HQ and then all pile into this. It's not actually worked out that way now. This is one driver that runs this, but it's really versatile because you can get tools and stuff in the back here, but you also obviously have got the tipper as well. I tried to replace these not so long ago, and the price of them has gone through the roof. But yeah, these are great, and I think we've paid for these now, so we're just going to keep them in the fleet and just really maintain them. Again, we're probably doing about 10,000 miles a year, so it's not really worth selling them because they're low miles, they're reliable. What I will say though, with the Transit, and I think this is a bit of an ongoing crisis, which I'm hearing a lot about, is the wet belts go, and the wet belt actually went on this, and it nearly caused chaos. Luckily we caught it just in time because there were some telltale signs with the brakes and we had to have it replaced. But people are telling me all the time that their wet belts are going on their Transits, and it's wiping out their engines and all sorts. So we've got about 6 Transits in the fleet, and over the next 3 months we're going to get the wet belt changed, because I do not want that. I've had it once where an engine went completely pop on us and we had to get it changed, and luckily we had 1 month left on the warranty and got it done. But yeah, these tippers, as a lot of you guys will know, are really versatile. Let me know if you guys are running tippers, and let me know what you're thinking about the price of them at the moment. So a few of you would have seen this one already. This is our repurposed auto servicing and repairs van. So as you know, about 6 months ago, when I started the YouTube thing, I decided that our fleet was big enough and we had enough plant, it was worth investing in taking on a fitter and mechanic. And we were lucky enough to find Dale, who actually does everything. He even does fabrication. So we've got our own in-house welder fabber. But yeah, so what we did was we took this van and we kitted it out, we put beacons on the top, we put lights around it, everything that Dale would need to go and service our fleet out in the field. What actually happened though is we ended up having to set up a workshop because we were getting that much work coming in from external companies, and it's been great to see that side of the business really flourish. We've now got to a point where all of Dale's time pretty much is taken up servicing and repairing cars, vans and plant for other companies, and it's actually making profit in its own right. However, he's here if we need him. So yeah, this is a Renault Traffic. Again, it's about a 2018 plate. I think I went on a bit of a buying spree in 2018 by the looks of it, because a lot of ours, they're like the oldest in the fleet. We've got newer ones, but yeah, I love this. I love the fact that it's a support vehicle, and to be honest, it's coming to its own. So this is our 4-wheel baby grab, and this is the first HGV I bought. And to be honest with you, I bought it just because my mate Dave from D&J had a grab truck, and I didn't know anything about grabs at the time. So really, I probably bought that by mistake, because it can only really take 8 to 10 ton on the back, which anyone that knows about running grabs and muckaways doesn't really stack up when you come to your tipping costs. So we've got it, I absolutely love it, but really now it only really goes out when we've got jobs that are tight access, or they only want small quantities of aggregate. However, I'll never get rid of it because people actually pay a little bit of a premium to use it. We do a lot of work in city centre Manchester as well, where the roads are really narrow and people request this truck. We paid £26,000 plus VAT for this, which actually at the time was probably too much, but again, I knew the company, I knew it was a good truck. The crane is also a really good crane, I'm led to believe, and it is actually, it's a lot stronger than the other crane we've got on the 8 before. So that on its own is coming to, that has really come into its own itself. So yeah, it's a versatile HGV. It got us going. I got our operator's license by buying this and learning about HGV, so it's been a nice one to have. We've nearly paid it off actually, so it's not worth selling. But yeah, look, you can see the crane, it's a beast. I love this machine. We also own a couple of trailers. This is a plant trailer, which is obviously for moving our machines about to our sites and when we're doing plant hire. But then we've also got this trailer as well, which, as again a lot of you know, you get a little bit more flexibility with what you can tow these days. So if we want to move quite a bit of volume about, but we've only got one person to drive it, rather than send 2 tippers or whatever, we'll tow the trailer. So yeah, that's another thing that I didn't realise. It's all good having these plants, but you also need a way to move them about. So I've had to come on site because this bad boy is in use now. A few followers of the channel will remember and know this one. This was the very first machine I bought. This is a 𝗕𝗏 SV08. It was yellow, but to try and keep things on brand, we've sprayed it black. I love this machine, and I have actually sold it once and bought it back because I missed it. So I paid $4 grand and we bought it outright, and I bought it from the same guy I bought the 𝗕𝗏𝗟𝗔𝗧 from. He's one of my pals, absolutely treats his machines perfectly, so I know I was buying a good machine. It's about, I think it's about 8 years old now, and it's only got what, 2,690 hours, so quite low really. It's not in use all the time. We use it predominantly for our extension builds, but we also hire it out as well. So yeah, I absolutely love this machine, and all of the guys that operate it tell me it's great, never lets us down, it's powerful. We've had to change the odd track, the tracks have slipped off. We've changed the ram and just your usual stuff, your pins, washers, stuff like that, that you bearings that you always sort of have to change. But yeah, we grease it all the time, we look after it, we clean it after every use, and we service it probably once every 6 months now. So yeah, absolutely love this machine, and I don't think I'll ever let it go. So I'm back downstairs in our workshop at HQ, and I thought I'd show you some of the other bits and pieces that we've got in our arsenal of tools. As you can see, we've done a bit of moving about, and it's not the tidiest, but Dale is on this. So what we've got, as I mentioned before, I love 𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗔𝗧 tools, and I'm on a thing called 𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗧. Now, I'm not sure if any of you are on this already, but how it works is you pay a monthly fee for the tool that you want, which is probably up the higher end once you work out how long you're in the contract for. It's usually between 3 to 5 years, but in that you get any breakdown cover. So if it breaks, they'll send the replacement out, they'll send you a loan tool whilst they're repairing it. Also, if it gets stolen, they only charge you 20% of the contract value at the end. So again, these are things that we don't use day in, day out, but we always seem to be hiring it, and where possible, if we're spending quite a lot of money hiring tools, I don't like doing it, so I try and buy them. So for example, a lot of our guys have got reciprocating saws, but when we're doing big strip outs of houses, taking joists out and things like that, I purchased us one because I thought it was unfair the guys having to hammer their own tools, and that now if it gets stolen, it's insured. If it breaks down, they'll send us a replacement. We've also obviously got rotating laser, which well, most builders will have. This is what we use for leveling up our slabs, so we do any landscaping, putting drainage in. We've got a tripod there with that. It's actually battery powered, this one, and these batteries are interchangeable with some of the other tools that we've got, which is handy. We've got obviously a petrol saw. We've got about 7 or 8 of these. This is the 𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗔𝗧 one, a bit heavy for me this. This is the 𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗔𝗧 one, but we've also got a battery version of that, which is on their neuron range, which means that essentially they reckon it gives out the same power as petrol and is more cost effective because you get as many, you work as long as it would with a full tank of fuel. So we're not sure about that, we're still trying it. We've got a few things on the neuron range. We've got a full range of breakers. I always buy, this is on the neuron range too, so the battery, see, it's a beast. That battery will fit in a load of the other tools. We've got a full range of breakers and SDSs because again, they're high impact, and I don't think it's fair that the guys have to ruin and hammer their own tools when we're doing bigger stuff. So we've got a full suite of breakers, core drills and SDSs. These beasts here are the bigger breakers. So we've got the TE3000, which this gets used all the time. You used to have a beaver breaker, petrol powered one, but it was just always breaking down the really heavy. This is great, 110, bang, really powerful. It's got anti-vibration technology as well, so apparently that's important. I am now the owner of this as well, which is the TE2000, but this is battery powered on the neuron range. It takes 2 big batteries in there, and essentially it's the baby brother of this one, but battery powered. Again, the jury's out. The guys say it's good, but the batteries don't last that long, and the batteries are not cheap. They're like hundreds of pounds. So yeah, I've got my Hoover. I think you've seen this before. Not really used that properly on site. It's a bit of a novelty, that, but it is good to have it. It's a great bit of kit. You put it on your back and it can go wherever you want. You can plug it into your drills, so you can do dustless drilling and coring and stuff like that. And then we've got a full selection of lights, festoon lights. You have to believe me, it's in that mess somewhere. Got a full range of sight lights. We've got that there, which is a tile cutter. It's a ruby tile cutter for cutting your big 600, 900, 1200 porcelain tiles. That's a really handy bit of kit. Dust suppression stuff. We've got thicknesses, we've got saws, we've got loads of chop saws, miter saws, which all need sorting out. Dale is at the process of checking everything off one by one at the moment, put it onto our ticketing software, and then we're going to periodically book it in and out to site when we need to and service it. And yeah, mag drills, bull floats, spill kits, all sorts of stuff. Welders, heaters. I've got a load of heaters because, as you know, in the UK it gets pretty cold. I've got gas heaters, I've got electric heaters, I've got dehumidifiers. We've got 3 or 4 whacker plates. A lot of them are out on site. I also mentioned about the Tiger Bite. I was going to show you the Tiger Bite, but I didn't realise it's out on hire at the moment. So yeah, I would have liked to have shown you around that, but I think we've covered that quite a bit in the episode. So yeah, that's my strategy, is owning the kit. I love owning the plant, and I reckon, I've done a little tally up, and I reckon we own nearly 900 grand's worth of plant, tools, equipment across the company, and that's not including what we own in equipment wise in Preferred. We've actually got a bit of stuff in the property in Liverpool, on the property side of the company as well, so we've got stuff everywhere. It's got value, it does depreciate, it sits in your balance sheet, so it's not necessarily a great investment. However, if you need it, it's there. And also, we've spun off and we hire a lot of this stuff out, and I've been able to help out other local builders like myself. So yeah, we'll keep buying and we'll keep adding, and when we add things, we'll bring them to you on the channel. So that's it for our tools and equipment tour. Let me know if you've enjoyed any of this. Let me know what equipment and plant and tools you guys are running, and let me know how you think the best way of paying for things is. I genuinely believe that if you're buying a kit, a piece of kit, you should look at it like you would look a member of staff. If you took on a bricklayer or a joiner, you wouldn't give them 200 grand outright for 5 years work. You'd pay them by the week, by the month, and let them earn their wages. And that's the way we look at plant and machinery. Sometimes it makes sense just to buy it outright for a used bit of kit, because you can't always finance used stuff. But I genuinely believe that if there's a mechanical way to do a heavy manual job, you should always do it with a machine or a tool. You should work hard and smart. Also, I've got small man syndrome. I just like owning plant and machinery. So the plan is to keep adding tools, keep adding plant, and hopefully if you come back in a year, 2 years time, we'll have even more. We really want to grow this side of our business, the aggregates, the plant hire, the groundwork inside of the business. To do that, you need equipment. Come back on Sunday for our usual weekly update behind the build. If you've not followed or subscribed to the channel, please do so now. My aim is to deliver up content that's going to help you run and grow your business, and also try and be entertaining at the same time. And the one thing I'll always be is honest. Click here to watch last week's video, click here and here to watch videos you've definitely seen before, but if you haven't, watch them please, and click here to subscribe to the channel. See you on Sunday.